Good afternoon all and welcome back to my channel, welcome to my latest video, and today we are looking at the 2019 cars for Assetto Corsa Competizione. We are going to be basically doing a number of laps to get an idea which is the best around the Zandvoort circuit, and these are purely based on the 2019 cars for the Blancpain GT series. So the NSX is back again this year with a revised car. It wasn't that popular last year, and to be honest I don't really see it being that popular again this year. It's pretty stable. It is what the NSX has always been good at, which is pretty much it knows where it needs to go, and generally it stays fairly planted. On all these setups that you'll see, it's all running on the safe setup. So in this case the traction control slightly kicks in on the NSX, but otherwise it's pretty much point and shoot. I think the downside to this car is that it's actually quite slow. The acceleration isn't so great either, and yeah, that's sort of really its downfall. But if you want a nice safe car, then this is basically the one for you. The Porsche 911 has always been a bit of a difficult car for me. This year it feels remarkably better, a lot easier to drive. The only thing I would say is, looking at the footage, as you can see, that it's still a bit unpredictable on certain corners. I find braking as you're going into the corner seems to still upset the car quite a bit. So with that in mind, there's a bit more thinking when it comes to driving the car. However, it feels a lot quicker, it's certainly a lot more stable, and sort of just the general acceleration and the speed from that just basically gives you this really fun car to drive. If you really want a challenging car, then the 911 is certainly going to be for you. You just have to bear in mind that, as I say, onto each corner you've just got to be wary about your braking point with it. But other than that, it is one of the fastest cars on this circuit, and you'll see at the end the time that it's produced. Initially, I didn't really find the Aston Martin to be the car for this circuit. It seemed to come across as quite slow, and I just didn't really feel that it was the car to have. However, having driven this now for a number of laps, I have to say that I don't know where I got that impression from. It generally is an incredibly, really decent car to drive around here. It sticks to the circuit and the track so well. It points, it goes where it needs to go, it's quick, and yeah, there's very little traction control that kicks in, and braking's pretty decent. maybe that's the only slight issue I found with the Aston Martin, is just the braking in general. But overall, yeah, it's a really, really decent car. Just 2 more cars to go. The next up is the Audi, which pretty much seems to be a lot of people's favourite on this game, just to generally the speed of the car. This one, I feel, have gone backwards a bit, to be honest. It's not overly great around this circuit, probably because it's not really a speed circuit, and that could be the issue. I just sort of found the car to be sort of just average at best, really. It just, it's to be fair, it did, stick to the track where it needed to, and it did pretty much everything that an Audi should, and it sounds really good as well. But overall, not really the car for me around here, and I think that's massive issue. Traction control, things like that, it generally sort of started to kick in a bit, and yeah, it's just, I feel it's gone backwards a bit. Like, the balance of performance has been slightly adjusted, and it's not the car that it used to be. And last but not least is the Lamborghini Huracan, another sort of evolution of last year's car. Again, proved very popular in the game. And big disappointment, I feel. You'll see as we come around these corners here that we have the blue traction control lighting up pretty much on every single corner. As I say, this is in the safe setup, but oh my god, the traction control just kicks in a lot of the time, which means that sort of just the general direction and the way that you're just trying to steer the car is you're just kind of like, it's just a waiting and waiting and waiting, and then acceleration. It can be really painful at times, and it really slowed the car up. And unfortunately, around here on a safe setup, it's not quick at all. And yeah, don't really know what's gone on there, because in the championship, obviously it's a very popular car, but yeah, we might see the demise of the Huracan around Zandvoort, which is disappointing. And so, in conclusion, so these are the cars and these are the lap times. So you see that if we just sort this out, the Porsche is the fastest on a 1:38, and you're looking at Lamborghini at pretty much the worst at the 1:40. So there's quite a difference in time really between them all. Obviously, as I say, Lamborghini should have been one of the quickers, and it's not. Audi pretty much being in the middle there. And if we sort by sector 1 times, nothing actually changes at all. which is quite strange. You'd have thought there would have been a small little mix up there. But yeah, it's still the Porsche, because you're looking at sort of tight, twisty parts. Sector 2, we've got a slight variation with the Honda moving, I guess due to the speed, and that's dropped down. The Lamborghini's moved up a bit. And then when we look at Sector 3 times, the Audi's one of the quickest, and the Aston Martin has actually goes back to being one of the slowest. But overall, the Porsche is the car to have on all sectors. So that's it. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you all again soon with some more videos from ACC. Until next time, see you soon.